Stand in your bathroom for a moment and catch the shower door when the light hits it from the side. That is when you see everything. The cloudy white veil across the glass, the dull layer on the tile that never seems to disappear, the pale crust around the faucet, and down where the water collects in the grout and along the edge of the tub, those pink stains and dark little marks that return no matter how many times you scrub them. Maybe you have rubbed that glass until your shoulder hurt. Maybe you bought stronger sprays, changed sponges, tried foams, gels, powders, and anything else that promised a sparkling bathroom. Yet a week later, there it is again, looking as if you never cleaned it at all. After enough years, most people simply accept it. They tell themselves the shower is old, the glass is permanently cloudy, the grout will never look fresh again, and that this is just what happens to a bathroom with age. But that is not the real problem. The reason you keep losing this fight is that you are treating several different kinds of buildup as if they were the same thing. That cloudy layer is often mineral scale left behind when hard water dries. Mixed into it is soap residue, body oils, shampoo, and conditioner, and those pink or dark areas in wet corners can be surface growth that loves moisture. One cleaner and one frantic round of scrubbing cannot solve every one of those problems at once. Once you understand what is actually sitting on the surface, the whole job becomes much easier. My name is Lucia, and on this channel I share the simple ways of keeping a home that I learned from the women in my family in Brazil, the kind of knowledge that used to be passed from mother to daughter before every small household problem came with a different expensive bottle. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel if you want practical cleaning methods that are simple, affordable, and built around understanding why the dirt is there in the first place. Around here, we are bringing back the household knowledge our mothers and grandmothers used every day, so you can spend less time fighting your home and more time enjoying it. And if you grew up seeing your mother or grandmother clean with simple things from the kitchen cupboard, tell me in the comments what she always kept on hand. I love seeing which old habits survived in different families. Now, the first thing you do is not spray anything. Clear the entire shower. Take out the shampoo bottles, soap, razors, loofahs, brushes, toys, and anything else sitting around the tub or shower floor. Put everything in a basket and get it out of the way. You want a completely open surface because every bottle left behind creates another little corner you cannot reach. Then rinse the walls, glass, fixtures, and tub with plain water. You can use the handheld shower if you have one, or simply a cup or small container. This first rinse carries away loose hair, dust, and surface debris. If you skip it and spray cleaner directly onto loose dirt, you turn an easy mess into muddy liquid that you then have to move around with your sponge. And while you are doing this, give the bathroom air, open the window if there is one, or turn on the exhaust fan. A bathroom stays cleaner when moisture has somewhere to go. Now we come to the mixture that does most of the work. In a spray bottle, combine 1 cup of water with 1 cup of plain white vinegar and about 1 teaspoon of dishwashing liquid. You do not need half the bottle of soap. A small amount is enough. The vinegar helps loosen mineral deposits from hard water, while the dish soap helps break through the greasy part of soap scum. That combination is why it works so well on the cloudy layer people often mistake for ordinary dirt. But there is something important here. Do not use vinegar blindly on every surface in the house. Natural stones such as marble, travertine, limestone, and some specialty finishes can be damaged by acids. If you do not know what your shower is made from, test a small hidden area first or follow the manufacturer's care instructions. Simple does not mean careless. On ordinary compatible glass, ceramic tile, and many common tub surfaces, spray the mixture from the top down. Coat the glass, the tile, the corners, the fixtures where mineral spots collect, and the tub itself. Then do the hardest thing for an impatient cleaner. Walk away. Let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. This is where so many people lose the battle. They spray and immediately start scrubbing because they think effort is what makes a cleaner work. But time is doing part of the job for you. The liquid needs a chance to soften the soap residue and work on the mineral film. If the surface begins drying before the time is up, mist it lightly again. You want it damp, not baked back onto the wall. While it sits, look closely at the difference between the surfaces in your shower. The flat glass is one problem, the grout lines are another, the textured bottom of the tub is another. Cleaning gets easier the moment you stop treating the entire bathroom as one giant surface. Start at the top and work downward in sections. That way, the dirty liquid always runs over areas you have not finished yet instead of flowing across the section you just cleaned. Use a soft scrubbing sponge or a soft bristled brush. One little trick my mother used was to rinse the sponge in warm water before starting. It softens it slightly and makes it easier to work without attacking the finish. You are not trying to punish the shower. You are trying to loosen what is sitting on it. For a larger shower, a soft brush attachment on a drill can save your shoulders and knees, but the word soft matters. A stiff, abrasive brush can turn a cleaning job into permanent scratches. And this is where I want to know something from you. Which part of your shower gives you the most trouble, the cloudy glass, the grout, or the floor? Put it in the comments because I suspect one of those three wins by a mile. For heavy soap scum on suitable flat glass, some people use a razor scraper, but that is a tool to treat with respect. Keep the surface wet, use a fresh, clean blade, hold it at a low angle, and move gently. Never use it on plastic, acrylic, fiberglass, coated glass, or any surface you are unsure about. A blade can solve one problem and create a much worse one if it catches the finish. Often patience with the vinegar mixture and a non-scratch sponge is enough without bringing a scraper into the bathroom at all. Now, look down at the textured non-slip section of the tub or shower floor. This is the area people scrub hardest and clean least effectively. A thin spray does not stay in those little grooves for long. It runs away before it has time to work. On a compatible surface, a thicker, non-abrasive cream cleanser can be more useful there because it clings to the texture instead of disappearing down the drain. Spread a small amount across the grooves, work it gently with a soft brush, allow it a little time, and rinse. The idea is the same as before. Let the product stay where the dirt is long enough to loosen it. Do not reach automatically for the roughest pad in the cabinet. The more damaged and scratched a surface becomes, the easier it is for grime to cling to it later. Gentle cleaning protects tomorrow's bathroom as much as today's. Now we come to the corners and grout, where the pink and dark marks tend to return. Moisture is the reason those areas become such a problem. Vinegar can help with some surface residue and mineral buildup, but if you are dealing with persistent mold, especially growth that has penetrated porous grout or caulk, do not assume one homemade spray has permanently solved it. Clean the surface thoroughly, dry it well, and if the growth keeps returning, the grout, caulk, ventilation, or moisture source may need more attention. And never mix vinegar with bleach or chlorine-based cleaners. That combination can release dangerous gas. The old way was simple, but it was never about mixing every bottle you could find. It was about knowing what each thing was for and using it carefully. Once you have scrubbed the walls, glass floor, and tub, rinse everything from the top down. A cup works surprisingly well. Hold it high against the wall and tip it slowly so the water travels down in a smooth sheet instead of splashing all over you. Rinse until the loosened film, soap, and cleaner are gone. Pay attention to the corners and around the fixtures where residue likes to hide. If the glass still feels rough when you run your fingers over it, give that section another short treatment instead of scrubbing harder. Mineral buildup often comes away in layers, especially when it has been forming for years. The goal is not to win a war in one violent afternoon. The goal is to restore the surface without ruining it. And once the rinse water runs clear, do not walk away yet, because the step that comes next is the one that decides how long all this work is going to last. Before that final step, take a second to inspect what you have uncovered. The tub should have lost that dull gray cast that made it look older than it was. If one stubborn area remains, repeat the treatment only there. There is no prize for covering the whole shower with more cleaner than it needs. Work locally, patiently, and protect the finish. This is also the right moment to rinse your sponge or brush thoroughly, because tools loaded with dirty residue will simply spread it back across the clean surface. Check around the faucet handles, the lower edge of the glass, the track of a sliding door, and the lip where the tub meets the wall. Those narrow places collect water quietly and are often the first places the buildup returns. A small, soft brush can reach them better than a large sponge. Once those details are clean and rinsed, you are ready for the step most people treat as optional, even though it is the part that changes everything after today in your bathroom. That step is drying. It sounds almost too simple to matter, which is exactly why people skip it. Take 2 clean, dry microfiber cloths and wipe the glass, tile, tub, fixtures, edges, and any place where water is still sitting. If the first cloth becomes damp, use the second to finish. This is not about making the bathroom look polished for 5 minutes. It is about stopping the next layer of mineral film before it begins. Every drop of hard water that dries on the glass leaves a tiny amount behind. One shower does not create that heavy, cloudy crust. Hundreds of little drying cycles do. The same is true in the corners. Constant dampness gives surface growth the environment it needs. Cleaning removes what has accumulated, but drying interrupts the process that creates it again. That is why a person can spend an hour scrubbing a shower perfectly clean and still be back in the same situation a month later. The cleaning was not necessarily the failure. The water left behind afterward was. Before we go any further, I want to give you 2 warnings, because saving a shower is not worth damaging the finish. First, stronger does not always mean better. Aggressive acids, abrasive powders, stiff pads, and products designed for entirely different surfaces can etch, scratch, discolor, or dull a tub and leave marks that no amount of cleaning will remove. Second, never reach for toilet bowl cleaner because you think the shower needs something more powerful. Toilet cleaners can contain strong acids or other chemicals intended for porcelain toilet bowls, not for every bathtub, faucet, grout line, glass coating, or shower finish. What looks like a shortcut can leave a permanent streak, damaged metal, or a dull patch that is far more expensive than the original soap scum. If you are trying a cleaner you have never used before, test a hidden spot first and read the label for the surface you actually have. And one more rule deserves repeating because it is more important than any cleaning trick in this video. Never mix vinegar with bleach or chlorine cleaners. Keep products separate, rinse between methods, and do not create your own chemistry experiment in a small bathroom. The women who taught me to clean in Brazil did not use 20 things at once. They knew a few simple materials and respected what each one could and could not do. Now think about the cleaning aisle in a supermarket. There are sprays for shower doors, sprays for daily use, foams for grout, products for soap scum, wipes for chrome, bottles for mildew, and another row promising that this time the glass will finally stay clear. It is easy to believe the answer must be hidden in one more bottle, but the bigger lesson is simpler. If the cloudy film is largely mineral residue from water drying on the surface, then endlessly washing the surface without changing what happens to the water afterward keeps you trapped in the same cycle. You can clean today and rebuild the problem tomorrow. And this is where the old Brazilian household habits make so much sense to me. My mother did not wait until the bathroom looked terrible before she touched it. She wiped things while the mess was small. She opened the window. She let air move. She did not allow water to sit for hours because she knew, without needing a chemistry lesson, that a wet bathroom becomes a difficult bathroom. My grandmother was the same. The cloth hanging near the bathroom was not there because she enjoyed cleaning all day. It was there because 30 seconds at the right time saved 30 minutes later. We focus on the dramatic rescue, the strongest spray, the before and after transformation. The older way focused on preventing the surface from ever reaching that condition. Tell me something in the comments. Did your mother or grandmother have one tiny cleaning habit that you thought was excessive when you were young, but now you realize made perfect sense? The first habit for the shower is the most important one in this whole video. Keep a squeegee inside or beside the shower. When the last person finishes bathing, run it down the glass and the tile where water collects. It takes less than a minute once you get used to it. You are physically removing the droplets before they have time to dry and leave minerals behind. If your shower has smooth walls, start high and pull down in overlapping passes. Then wipe the bottom edge where the water gathers. You do not need perfection. Even removing most of the water dramatically reduces what is left to evaporate on the surface. If there is no glass door, you can still use the same principle on smooth tile or simply use a microfiber cloth on the areas that always stay wet. The second habit is ventilation. Leave the exhaust fan running for a while after the shower, or open a window when weather and security allow. If the bathroom door can remain open afterward, that can help moisture escape too. The exact method depends on your home, but the principle never changes. Give the humidity somewhere to go. A bathroom that stays wet for hours creates the perfect conditions for recurring problems in grout, caulk, ceilings, and corners. If you clean mold-like spotting over and over, but the room never dries, you are treating the symptom while preserving the environment that caused it. The third habit is a light weekly clean before the grime becomes a project. On surfaces that are compatible with vinegar, a quick mist of the diluted vinegar and dish soap mixture, followed by a gentle wipe, rinse, and dry, can keep mineral film and soap residue from building into the thick layer that requires serious work. If your shower contains natural stone or another acid-sensitive material, use the appropriate cleaner instead. The important thing is the routine, not loyalty to one ingredient. Small buildup is easy buildup. Once it has been baked onto glass by months of repeated drying, every cleaning session becomes harder than it needed to be. And do not forget the little objects you removed at the beginning. Before you put bottles and soap dishes back, look at their bottoms. Shampoo bottles often have rings of slime or soap residue underneath them, and then we place them directly onto the clean shelf and wonder why the shelf looks dirty again the next day. Wipe the bottles, rinse the soap dish, clean the razor holder, and let the loofah or sponge dry properly. If something stays wet all day, move it to a place where it can drain and get air. Pay attention to the sliding door track too, if you have one. Water and soap settle into that narrow channel where a normal sponge cannot reach. A small, soft brush or an old toothbrush reserved for cleaning can loosen the residue. Rinse carefully and dry the track so you are not leaving a little trench of water behind. Around faucets and metal fixtures, use a soft cloth rather than an abrasive pad. Mineral spots can make chrome look permanently dull, but scratching the finish while trying to remove them only makes the problem worse. If buildup is stubborn, repeat a compatible gentle treatment and give it time. Patience is cheaper than replacing a fixture. There is another reason I want you to change the way you think about the shower. When people believe the room is simply old, they stop seeing what is reversible. Cloudy glass starts to feel permanent. A gray tub starts to feel worn out. Darkened corners become part of the background. Then one day you clean it with the right method, dry it properly, and realize much of what looked like age was accumulation. That is a powerful difference. Age is something you accept. Buildup is something you can manage. So after you try this method, come back and tell me what changed most. Did the glass become clearer? Did the tub look whiter? Was the biggest surprise how much easier the surface cleaned once you let the mixture sit instead of immediately scrubbing? I read those comments because they tell me what people are actually fighting in their homes. And tell me where you are watching from too. If you are in Brazil, tell me your state. If you are somewhere else, tell me your country. Water hardness, climate, ventilation, and the age of a home can make bathrooms behave very differently. And I love seeing those differences from one place to another. There is one more thing I want you to notice the next time you shower. Look up at the shower head itself. If some little holes spray sideways, if the stream feels weaker than it used to, or if you can see white crust around the nozzles, you are looking at the same mineral story in another place. That will be our next lesson. How to deal with a shower head that has slowly clogged without realizing it. But today, stay with the surfaces in front of you. Clear the shower completely. Rinse away the loose debris before adding cleaner. On compatible surfaces, use the diluted vinegar and small amount of dish soap to work on mineral film and greasy soap residue. Give it time instead of immediately attacking the wall with force. Scrub gently from the top down. Treat textured areas with a product that can stay in the grooves. Be cautious with blades, abrasives, and strong chemicals. Rinse everything thoroughly. Then do the part that changes the future of the bathroom. Dry it. Keep the water from sitting, keep the air moving, and do a small maintenance clean before the buildup becomes a weekend project. That is the Brazilian way I learned at home. Not because Brazilian grandmothers had some magical bottle nobody else knew about, but because they understood something simple. A house stays easier to care for when you do the small job before it turns into the big one. A squeegee, a cloth, a little vinegar where the surface allows it, and a few minutes of attention can do more than an entire cabinet full of products used at the wrong time. So the next time the light crosses your shower door and you see that cloudy haze, do not assume the glass is ruined. Do not blame your arm because scrubbing harder never solved it. Look at the problem for what it is. Loosen what has built up, rinse it away, dry the surface, and stop tomorrow's layer before it begins. That is how you take back a shower you had almost given up on, and how you keep it from ever getting that bad again.